Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay. Something was going on. I don't know. It was very weird. So we had to come down from the mountain like 4 times in 7 days,
Wow.
and then antibiotics didn't actually work. So we had to switch to other ones. It was like a huge headache. But I mean, at least the nature is beautiful.
Yeah, is she okay?
Yeah. She had to still take one out, but
Wow. Yeah, that's what happens when you take vacation, man. Things get out of control.
yeah.
So I want to start the show asking you this: what have you learned as a founder, as a CEO, after taking a few days off, about like leadership, systems of the agency, how to get delegate to your team? What have you learned over these few days that you were not in presence working like usually?
Oh, let's see. First thing I learned is that you need from 4 to 7 days to get detached from the work so you can actually start resting, really. And what I found out that when that time starts, that's the time when my brain relaxes and starts really working. So I have a wish to go back to work. So it's like going in different directions, but it's good. I mean, when it comes to the business, those kind of things, I learned a few things. One is that I need to communicate a few times what will happen in the, let's say, next 10 days when my vacation starts, because clients don't listen ever. So, but it's not a problem. I told you that all of my clients are long term, so it's okay when it comes to that. But I've been approached to deliver some reports, those kind of things, when I already asked them, what do you need from me until I go to the vacation?
Right.
Anyway, I mean, a lot of good things happen. Like from the agency standpoint, I realized that I might need to change some things because those people that I have right now here might not be good for going from bringing the game up.
Okay.
They are good for the present moment,
Tell me more.
but if as we are growing, I can say, I mean, I don't want somebody who will just do the task that I give them. I want to have people who can think for themselves, who can see the reactions, the engagement, how some things are going, who can look at analytics and react based on that. So not calling me for every single thing. I don't want to have those kind of people around me in the company.
Right.
I'm not that kind of CEO who likes to micromanage and like go through every single detail, but I like to say it one time and then clearly, and then I expect you to execute on your own.
So when you say there are some things that you think need to change, is that mostly on a talent or people based, or are there other things that you realize this is not going to allow us to go to the next level?
Yeah, I mean, basically, if I'm attached to every single piece of content, it won't bring us anywhere in the future, because I need to focus on some other things, like you are doing yourself, also to the business development, to finding new clients, to developing strategies, those kind of things. And I mean, I was trying a different model than the one that I wanted to do from the start, because it's not easy. We talked about it in the last few episodes. It's not easy to find people who have experience and who are willing to work for somebody else. But as I was creating content for the potential customers,
Yeah.
clients, it turns out that I was also creating content for potential employees.
Mm.
So while I was on vacation, I was approached by few people who are experienced in the things that I need and who are willing to go and work for somebody who motivates them, who is doing something different than everybody else are doing, who is willing to like experiment, try things, and I don't know, we'll see how it goes. That was my idea from the start, but I couldn't find people, so I went to different model, and now I think I'm on the right track to get back to where I wanted to be. I mean, I don't want to be the only one who is like present everywhere. We're developing just my personal brand, and the whole company is building around it. I want also other people who I can help grow, and then by growing all of our personal brands, we can grow the company and we can go even wider.
So that was my next question. After you taking some days off, where do you see yourself and the company in like 2 to 5 years? So how, after you apply those changes that we've talked about of new people trying to help others grow their brands, in your ideal world, how does the company look like in 5 years? How does Funky Market in 2025?
I mean, basically it's the same. I don't want to go like big in terms of how big the company is when it comes to employees, staff, those kind of things. I mean, I still want to have a small company up to 10 people who are willing to be flexible, to execute fast, and to deliver results. But I want to do some other things next to the services that we provide.
Tell me more.
Yeah, I mean, that was the idea from the start, but Corona happened, so I had to postpone it. Basically, I want to organize a huge unconference for the start, like maybe 50 to 60 people who are from marketing, maybe creative, and to bring them somewhere like in the nature when they can do everything except things that they do on our regular conferences. So like ride mountain bikes, ride kayak, hike, do some treasure hunting in the evening with intimate conversations, like with 2 or 3 industry leaders who will share some things. People who don't want to go to the nature can create some campaigns, branding, those kind of things for I don't know, socially endangered groups or something like that to help them also develop.
Yeah.
And basically the idea is to organize the first one in next to my hometown on the Stara Planina mountain.
Yeah.
Because there are 3 rooms of 20 people. I want them to live together for 3 days so they can get closer. Yeah. So we can actually instantly create community. And then I want to change the venue each year.
So
Serbia, Bulgaria, maybe Spain, you know, those kind of things.
Will I get an invite? I hope so, right? Good. So last question from that, because I'm really interested in like your learnings. But like in 5 years, we talked about the company. Tell me about you. What does the ideal day for you as the CEO, but really as Nemanja, look like in 5 years?
Basically the same as now. I want to do the things that I enjoy doing. That was the goal from the start. I mean, maybe the things that I love doing will change, but I want to remain in that area. Like I like to do strategy. I like to develop businesses. Those are some things that I want to be focused at. You know, everything else I'm building around it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What about you? How do you see it?
Yeah, for me, and this is why I asked you, because I've been thinking about this for a while. I think my ideal world in 3 years, in 3 to 5 years, is a world where I have a COO who takes care of operations. I already have a person in mind. I just cannot hire her yet. But my responsibilities is just to create content. So it will be like just grow my personal brand as much as we can, and use that to be the marketing for the company. Like I'm fine with the company being attached to my name.
Like developing yourself as a thought leader, as a speaker,
like going into podcasts, creating content, creating articles, going to events, speaking conferences. So really just developing my personal brand as a thought leader, as an industry leader in the areas of personal branding and B2B content, and using that as the marketing for the agency, right? So that the agency doesn't have to like do much marketing or do much sales. It just, the new business comes from my personal brand, and the operations and production are kind of run aside of me. I don't like those things. I don't like having to like report with people to clients. I don't like account management. Like I don't enjoy doing that. I enjoy creating content really, and meeting other people, building my network, and trying to grow my personal brand, which it sounds selfish, but it's more just like trying to learn and share that, right? So
yeah, it's not selfish. I mean, as a CEO, you are a leader. As a CEO, you are developing a business. No, I'm kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But those are definitely the things that you need to do. I mean, through the content, you are also inspiring others behind you in the company to go over there.
Yeah, and that's where I see us going. Because if the company doesn't have to worry about new business, it can be a very easily company to run. Right? Just production work, systems, and the logistics, financials. Plus, at the end of the day, I'm more of a creative creator than a business owner. Like even when I started, like I started as a freelance ghostwriter where I was creating content. So eventually, I'd like to go back to that route of like just creating content versus doing everything else that comes. I enjoy it. Like I enjoy managing people and all that, but it's a difficult job. And I think if I want to like fire myself of things, the one thing I don't want to fire myself is my personal brand. So it's just been interesting. We're far away from that still, because you need really talented people to do that, right? So
yeah, I mean, and it takes time to build up the personal brand and the demand and everything else.
But it's I do think that's a question that more founders and CEOs have to ask themselves, because it's really easy to get caught up on that wheel and just trying to survive tomorrow versus
I mean, that's something I could connect that with something that I've been seeing lately, because I work with like 3 or 4 software companies. Most of them are doing outsourcing. Some of them are developing also their own products on the side. But what I'm seeing is, if you Google them, you search LinkedIn, you search Facebook, wherever, you won't find anybody from the company that is like the main men or the women of the company. You know,
right.
You won't find their personal brands, profiles, anything. They are like ghosts. You can only see the names. You know that they are working in the company, but nothing else. And so I went deeper, and I went to see what are their business models, how they're operating, how they're working. Basically, all of them are doing outbound, because that's the only thing that they know.
Right.
And on the other hand, they don't even have like the business development.
Right.
Why? Because they started, all of them, like started companies as I don't know, like the daughter company in Serbia of some company who is in Switzerland, let's say,
Right.
or they have the CEO or co-founder, they have a person in China or in Germany or maybe US that keeps bringing them projects.
Right.
And those are all like huge companies from 30 employees to 150.
Wow.
And what's interesting is that when you are develop software-based company, you have many developers.
Right.
Other than that, you have only salespeople and maybe one or two people who are HR. So because here comes one project, here comes another project, and you just keeps adding developers, you know. And at one time, you need somebody who will take care of developers, and
Right.
that's it. And now when COVID-19 happened, when they couldn't do the outreach the way that they were, when they didn't have enough projects because those guys were also limited as they were. Now they're thinking about maybe we should change the strategy.
Right.
You know, all of them. Maybe we should change the strategy. Maybe that's, but still they're thinking about sales,
Right.
not about marketing. They're thinking maybe we should create a different USP. Maybe we should try learn how to negotiate. You know, instead of creating like the marketing machine that will create the demand. I mean, just think about it. You have 150 people on LinkedIn
Yeah.
that say that they are working for your company. I mean, that's unbelievable potential.
Yeah. Yeah. But
And
I think
it's enough that like 5 or 10 of them are active. Just 5 or 10 of them.
yeah.
Nothing else.
But COVID is going to be interesting because I think it's going to filter bad marketing and sales. Like people who are companies that are just running on the idea that new projects always come and their financials suck. They don't have a marketing strategy. Their sales is purely outreach, just a numbers game. Like they're going to see that right now, either you have a good brand as a company or personal brand or both, ideally. It's going to be tough for you to generate new business, right? Because everybody's like more mindful of their budget. People are more close by to new initiatives. So what used to work before, post-COVID, it's not going to work. So now more than ever, I think it's important for people to start understanding the importance of content, the importance of building relationships, because business development and building relationships kind of the same thing. But being high touch on that relationship and providing value over time, staying top of mind, these are things that you could disregard before, but now it's essential. It's either you do it or the company is not going to get new projects in the next 12 months.
Yeah, and most of the companies are still stuck in. I mean, they call it performance marketing. I wouldn't call it performance marketing. I would call it like measuring every single thing just because they feel safe.
Yeah, performance marketing has the greatest name of all marketing strategies. Like the guy who branded performance marketing, he was a genius. Because now it seems like the rest is not about performance. Everything's about performance. But you're just measuring everything. Things that doesn't really even matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, people measure so many. I was going through the G-Analytics accounts of my clients while I was on vacation, just going after things that I don't usually do and I don't usually see. So I'm seeing all kinds of things that they are measuring and that we need to improve. Like they're naming them conversions. I mean, it's a goal. It's not a conversion. Like people spending. I always say I like to measure how many people spend time reading articles, but it's not a conversion. It's a goal.
Right.
And if somebody is visiting 3 pages instead of one on your website, that's also just something that you can see how your content is performing that person is not a lead. He didn't convert. He didn't do anything.
But I do think a lot of marketing agencies use that terminology to lie to clients. Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's very easy to tell them, we generated 500 leads. Okay, what's a lead for you? That has to be the next question. Is a lead somebody who clicked on, I want to talk to a salespeople, or I want a demo? Because yeah, that's a lead. Or is a lead what you were saying, right? Like visiting 3 pages. Who gives a fuck? You know, like it. Obviously, it's a metric that shows like quality of consumption. Reading an article for 7 minutes versus 1 minute, but it's not a conversion, or it's not a lead. It's just a metric that helps you see something, ideally. But a lot of these agencies, if they were to measure actual leads that are marketing qualified and that could potentially be clients, their results will be so terrible, and their customer acquisition cost will be so high, and the CAC payback will be so long that they'll get fired. So they have to find a conversion that is not really a conversion or a lead.
Yeah, and also did you mention like CAC? I'm seeing more and more people who are like in e-commerce, and I'm more in B2B. They're asking me for the return for the ROAS.
Right.
You know? And I'm telling them that's not the metric that I care about, because it's not important for B2B. I mean, it's important, but it's not the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know, is the customer acquisition cost, you know, those kind of things. Here is the sales cycle shorter, what's going on, like, are you increasing the lifetime value of your customers, those kind of things. And because all of them, when it comes to e-commerce, all of them that I'm communicating with are in PPC. Right. And doing PPC for the e-commerce is the easiest job in the world if you know how to do it. Right. If you can find the specific target group, if you know how to measure the cost and everything, how to balance it, and how to do it long term, it would be like just up street. Right. And I mean, it's great, but from my point, it doesn't give me enough, how do you say it? Excitement. Right. It doesn't give me enough things to work on, enough things to, small things to take care of, to improve.
Yeah, but I do think like tracking, especially when doing paid ads, like we have to be honest and very transparent as marketers to what results are we explaining and providing to our clients. Right? Mm-hmm. Like if we're doing content, so let's say somebody likes 4 LinkedIn posts of one of our clients. That's not a lead. That's just somebody who liked 4 LinkedIn posts. If we call those leads and then we tell them at the end of the month, hey, we generated 100 leads, we're not reflecting reality. So there has to be more transparency and more integrity on how marketers report back to, if you're an in-house marketer, how you're reporting back inside the company, and if you're an agency marketer, how you're reporting back to your clients.
Yeah, when it comes to measuring on LinkedIn, are you measuring something? What are you measuring, if you are?
On content?
Mm-hmm.
So we measure the things that the clients care about, which is views and engagement rate and that type of stuff. And then we measure like the actual things that we care about, which is inbound DMs, link clicks to the profile or to the company website, meaningful conversations that are happening on DMs or comments as well. So our biggest metric is inbound leads through direct messages. Mm-hmm. Like that's the North Star, then things that build to that North Star. But if we're generating even if it's as small as like 4 or 5 inbound leads per month, that's a huge success for us. Because if we're closing at 20-40% rate and you're closing 1 client a month through content, especially at our price rate, it's a 3-time ROI on month 2 or 3. So inbound opportunities is the one that is the most important for us. Then clients, obviously, you know how they are, like they care about other shit. So like views and all that stuff, we document it. We measure network growth. So as part of our service, we send...
For the personal profiles, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we mostly do personal profile. Company pages, we're kind of trying to do that shit. But like if we grow their network by like 300 people in 1 month, that's something that we measure, because that actually is meaningful, I think, to results. But those are like the 4 or 5 metrics. When we're doing LinkedIn content that we measure, when we're doing articles, there's other metrics, as like you said, time on page, consumption. Are they scrolling all the way down? What are the next step after that? Branded search queries. So there's a few more on that, but LinkedIn doesn't allow you to measure much more than what we do.
Yeah, that's why I asked. I'm trying to figure out what I should measure for the company pages. It doesn't give you much chances to actually measure anything except those. I mean, they're improved. In the last 2 months, they improved when it comes to the things that you can measure. Like you can now measure engagement. You can see engagement on specific posts, the most performing ones. But I'm trying to see like what are the things that will tell me, are we on the right track besides looking at the likes. You know, I'm looking at them now and I can see from which companies are the people, are they relevant, those kind of things, but it's not something that I can report to somebody.
Right. Yeah. For company page, it's tough. It's tough because also the growth is difficult because you only get a number of invites that you can sign every month. So it's hard to grow. We've seen the reach to be lower than personal pages. So it's just hard for us. For us, what we recommend, and I was talking with a prospect today, and he was asking me this, should we post on company page or a personal page? My recommendation now is to post on personal page and then share it on the company page. So if it's you post on Nemanja, and then Funky Marketing reshares that on their page, adds 2 lines or 3 lines on top. This is our CEO Nemanja talking about XYZ, whatever.
Let's do an experiment. Just popped out in my mind. So there's a page that we are doing, company page, and we are experimenting with those things that we talked about last time, like try to use it to grow a brand through people who are guests on the podcast, people who are founders of the startup that are part of the business development, those kind of things.
Yeah, I like that idea. I think that's a good idea for you guys. And us. We have an internal meeting this Friday with my company to talk about how to use our company page as well. And we're going to go for that strategy of resharing content from podcast guests.
Okay, I can share a page. I just want to show to everyone some of the things that we are experimenting with, and then I want to hear your feedback and maybe from the other guys who are here.
Yeah, feel free to share your screen. I think I need to allow
yeah, you need to give me the permission, I think.
Give me 1 sec. All right, you should be good to go.
Yeah. Okay, so here it is. It's Impact Hub Belgrade. And what are the things that we are doing when it comes to content? First of all is videos. When we have like Pavle, who is the the main man, the person that we want to create a brand around for ImpaHub Belgrade, around his personal brand.
Yeah.
So we are using videos in which he's talking about what do they do with ImpaHub. So how do they develop programs? How do they work with startups? Those kind of things. Second thing are the quotes from the people from the podcast or event meetups that they organize. So this is the one where we actually don't have a picture of the person. We don't have the good one, so we created like this.
Yeah.
But this is the guest, the girl that's going to be a guest on the next meetup.
Yeah.
So the focus is on her, and those kind of posts are actually performing well.
Yeah, I was going to say that engagement's going high on this post.
Yeah, also these ones when we have like the picture of the person.
Yeah.
They are performing very well. Like George is now in charge of Volt Serbia, so people know the brand, people know him, and I mean around 70 people who are reacting to it.
For a company page is really, really good.
Yeah.
Like you can see company pages with like 2 million followers who are not getting 5 likes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I saw that metric that is going up. This is the thing also that we are experimenting with. Wait a second. It ran away. Yeah, like this kind of animated videos. Something. But these ones are not performing well.
Right.
Something is bugging. I don't know.
It seems like these are working really well with the picture of guest.
Yeah, with a quote also. If this picture is only picture of him is in the photo, with the person tagged, it works perfectly. That's also something that works good. But I don't know. We'll see. It seems like my Wi-Fi is problem.
I think you're getting good results there.
Mm-hmm. It's going very good. That's why I wanted to share it with you guys, just to show you some of the things that we are experimenting. And also what I'm seeing is that links are starting to do good also, not in the comments but in the post.
Right.
Not high performing, but good enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't need to go in analytics. You can see that it's going up, and it's the page of 1,433 followers.
Yeah. How are you like growing that? Are you doing anything specifically to grow followers, or is that something that you're not sure about?
Yeah, basically, we are not even inviting people. We are not using that 100 invites. I don't want to do that, as if somebody is going to do it, guys who are employees of ImpaHub Belgrade is going to do it. For now, as far as I know, they don't do it. What do I do? Like once in 2 weeks, we invite in the post people to contact like Pavle or Gaia, people who are the main contact points for ImpaHub Belgrade.
Yeah.
If they are interested in business development, in helping their startups or certain businesses grow, those kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Basically, that's how it's going. On the other hand, we are growing also personal brand of Pavle on LinkedIn. And in those two directions is where it goes.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing something myself similar for the company page of Influence Spotting, because
let's try it out. I want to do it also on Funky Marketing so we can measure how it goes.
So because I have a lot of content that I can put out. Like I have a lot of clips from podcasts. Because I don't like putting out too much content on LinkedIn. So I save some of that for Instagram and Twitter. But I like to put it out. So I think I'm going to do a rerun on the company page. I was thinking either doing that or on the personal brand of my second guy. So the guy who I mentioned has been working with us for a long time. His LinkedIn page is a bit inactive, and I think we've had so much success on my personal page that he should also be, creating content a lot as well for that. He's working a lot, so it's hard to find the time. But if he gets the videos, then I think it's just easier. But
I mean, basically, if he has connections, just use 2 days to send a message to each one of them. That
right,
will spark everything up.
right, yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. I think this is the only strategy for company pages that works. Like putting out things that other people are going to like and share.
I mean, basically talking about everything except
yourself.
your product
Yeah,
and yourself. Yeah, I mean, that's something that sounds logical, and that's something that we are doing for our personal brands.
right. Yeah. But I do think on the personal brand, it gives you more space to like share a bit more about yourself. Right? It allows you more space to be more introspective, to share stories, to share lessons learned, and you can do that from the company page. But I do believe that what's going to work best for the company page is completely other people, right? Versus a mix of you and yourself. So that's a second arm. Like you're saying, I don't think company page are the go-to thing, but if you can combine that with the personal page of the CEO or an executive or an employee, it might be the last little push that can help.
You can definitely do that. You have a lot of content that you're creating already existing.
Right.
I mean, for some of the things, that's even like great.
Yeah. We have, I believe, 20 something episodes right now of the podcast, and 3 or 4 clips for each episode. So we do have a lot. But I think we're going to see more companies doing that, using the personal page of LinkedIn. It just makes sense.
Yeah, guys, do you have any questions? Want to jump in with something?
Yeah, I have something to add. I was thinking about, everyone is talking about like giving a value through your content and just posting some educational things, maybe about the things they are doing or about just anything else. So what do you think, guys? Would that work better than just posting something more personal? Like, is being a brand being a person, or is it more about educating people? What works better? That's my question in your experience. Because I was trying
for LinkedIn.
For LinkedIn, yeah. For example, for company page. So you were talking about like connecting people or persons with business and with a brand. So right now I'm trying to do something similar. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to go one way or the other. Should I present myself as a person who does this and that, or as someone who knows a lot about this and posts educational posts?
Yeah. Maybe could you guys read more context on the specific case of yourself, so that I think it's going to give us a better idea.
Yeah,
so what's the situation right now?
Yeah, so we have a startup. It's a marketing startup. It's automation, basically, and messaging marketing. So right now we need to start building our social profile, since we were not doing that. And I'm trying to think of like a strategy or tactics of how should I grow my channels. So when I was thinking about LinkedIn, I was not sure if I should start with, okay guys, this and this, you should do this and this if you want to grow your audience, or if you want to optimize the delivery of your content, and this is the way you're doing it. Or should it be, okay guys, it's me, Bratza, and today we're going to talk about how we do it in our company or something, So Should I try and find the balance between that, or should I just stick to one or the other?
Yep. Nemanja, I have some thoughts, but do you want to?
Yeah, go on. I'll add something to it.
Yeah. So my approach would be, you have to be known as the guy that's the expert on automation, right? I would zoom out and see what's the area that like people are looking for a solution. They still might not know that it's your specific solution, but if you can become the expert on automation or automation marketing, eventually people are going to dive down to like what the specific thing that you do. So my content will be focused around that, on automation marketing, how to use it for companies. Obviously, I don't know the target audience and all that. But I would zoom out a little bit, see what the area and the content bucket that we call it is that you want to focus on. And then 80 to 90% of the content has to be about automation marketing. And from time to time, you can start adding content of the specific product that you guys are building, maybe stories about you building it. I would not go out and say, this is what we're doing, click this link or buy from us, but try to soften that call to action into things that you can touch as well. So we're building this thing and it's a challenge because of this, or this is 3 lessons that we've learned as we're building product XYZ. But 90% of the content will be zooming out, becoming the expert in that specific niche in the industry, and adding some soft call to action to let people know exactly what you're doing 10 to 15% of the time. That's how I'd approach the content topics. Where to distribute it, if LinkedIn is the right platform, if Twitter is the right platform, that's another conversation. But that works either way, for whether you're doing LinkedIn or Twitter or both, or you're doing SEO. I think that's zooming out for most of it and then softening out the call to actions for the remaining 10-15%. I don't know if Nemanja, you have a different thought on that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree for that part. I would focus on the part that needs to go before that, and this is showing how did you become Braca, the guy for the automation. You know, how did that transition happen? I mean, I work as an activist in the NGO. There I moved to work in an agency. There I'm specialized in performance marketing. And now I wanted to zoom out and see the bigger picture. So I went into content branding and B2B. That's the kind of transition that people would like to see when they come to your profile, because they want to know how did you become the expert for the automation. And Marty said good things about mixing it up. Like the one thing that you need to do definitely is hammering on the topics that are giving specific things to your potential clients, to the audience about automation. Like specific things that wouldn't attract as many people as you would like to have at the start. But as you are growing, you will have more and more people who are connected to that. And then, I mean, you can check at Marty's, I don't know, last or one of the last posts, when he was talking about the glue guys in the NBA teams. So he is mixing like that sport content with those things and services that they are performing. So that can be a good direction. And also one thing that I want to tell you, and it's something that's highly important, people often forget about it. It's not connected to the content that you will create. It's about the network that you will grow. You need to constantly add new stream of connections to your profile. And those should be people who are interested in your content, not only your target group, but people who are your colleagues, fellow marketers, like people who are interested in knowing more about automation, getting educated about that topic, sharing experiences. This is how you will get the bigger reach outside of your own connections. You will also get theirs.
I'd like to add just one final thought on that. It's also very important that your profile is very well optimized, because like at that point, if somebody reads your content, checks your profile, they need to understand what you actually do and how you can help them, and how that product that you guys are building can help them as well. So when it comes to the profile, I do think that like the next steps have to be very clear, so that that traffic that you're generating to your profile from your content goes to somewhere that's useful. So feel free to check my own LinkedIn profile for the bio. Like I have a Calendly link there. I have the services that we provide, who we provide, and I'm very straightforward there. I'm not much to tell stories on the personal profile. I'm to the point, because that's where you do the selling. So the selling is done by your profile bio and your website. The goal of your content is to get the right people to check your profile and the website. So that lead handoff, we call it lead handoff, like passing the lead down the funnel is important, and your profile needs to be optimized so that happens. And then I do agree with Nemanja. Think of the 2 or 3 main topics that you're going to be creating content around. For me, are B2B content marketing, personal branding, and my experience as a CEO and my story. And then you mix that with your personal stories and who you are as an individual, but you need to create content around the 2 or 3 main areas that your prospects care about and you're an expert, or at least somebody in the company is an expert.
Okay, cool.
Yep, I hope that helps. I don't know if we were super clear, but if you have any,
you were,
follow-up
for the most part, and for the part that I needed, you were. Thanks.
Okay. So can you tell us a bit more about the company and all that, so that we get a better picture? I'm just interested out of curiosity.
Yeah. So our company is a messaging marketing company. Our customers are businesses, and our ideal customers are like media publishers and marketing agencies, or so we think. We have a few customers, and all of them are actually news publishers and marketing agencies. So our main point is direct messaging. So we have a few direct messaging channels active right now, and that's Facebook Messenger, Viber, and Web Push and SMS. So basically that's about it. So it's also an automation platform. So it's a multi platform messaging, marketing messaging platform.
Yeah. What are you guys doing in terms of like marketing, or is the company new and you guys are just starting up, or do you guys have a marketing strategy set up already?
Well, it's kind of new. We've been working on it for a year and a half, but unfortunately we haven't been able to actually have some huge marketing efforts up until now, and now we are trying to set everything up. We've been doing sales, but the marketing part is a little bit neglected, and that's the thing that I hate, because I'm supposed to be a marketing guy, but I'm doing everything else except for marketing. Right. So now I'm trying to be more focused on just growth and of course the branding. I guess that's the last thing.
Marty, they people know them around here because they pitched on investors on few occasions, and they won actually the pitches. So people know them and see the potential in there. So basically they have proven a concept, and then they're on the stage when they like get growing with marketing and building everything up.
Interesting. Yeah. If you want to send me, Bratislav, a link to your website or something, I'd love to. Yeah, sure. I'm curious to learn more what you guys are up to.
Yeah, and as Nemanja said, our people like our idea, but still we need to work a lot on it to get actually the paying customers and to grow exponentially.
Is the product
it is like, well, it is usable, but right now we're trying to redesign it and to implement some more features. So we got the grant. It's a innovation fund from the Republic of Serbia. So now it's like a project, and we just have to implement the things we wrote down there. So we'll have fully prepared product in a few weeks, and then you can check it out. I would appreciate your feedback.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, happy to help in any way that I can, or introduce you guys to somebody, or anything that I can do. Happy to do it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Thanks.
Awesome.
Alexandra?
Else, or?
No, I mean, I wanted to check if Alexandra wanted to say something, because she's our most persistent member on these calls, and she is always like quiet listener.
Don't put her on the spot like this, man.
I don't know what to say because I'm a student yet, and I don't have.
Nemanja, you just put her on the spot like that. That's a messed up.
Yeah. Those are first steps.
I hope so.
Awesome, guys. So I'm happy we had the chance to chat. Always great talking to you, Nemanja, and everybody else. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday today?
Yeah.
Wednesday at 6.
Yeah, this was great. I think we told so many things in so short time. It was like
we touched on
really great value.
Awesome, brother. All right, everyone.
Bye. Take care.
At 6.
Thanks. See you.
Bye.